Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Flash Sale Friday, and I'm just realizing you can see my signs. I need to move them out of the way so that there is a surprise. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. Are we getting people in this morning, Darlene?
Lots of eyeballs.
Lots of eyeballs. Excellent, excellent. Excuse me. Good morning, good morning. Boy, do we have a treat for you today. I'm actually excited to do this 15-minute challenge. Um, so hopefully you're along for the ride with me this morning. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time because, as you know, on Fridays, my time is precious. Hope you guys have been enjoying the flash sales. We got some goodies here for you today. And I'm just going to dive right in. Happy Friday. Trying to not let it show on camera because we want surprises. So please forgive me. I did forget my earbuds at home today. I've been in trade show all week, and man, you guys are going to be in for a treat when some of this new stuff starts rolling in. I can't. Oh, here it is. You know where to find all the deals. Papercraftersworkshop.ca. I believe they are already live. Darlene's going to do a quick double check, but you know where to find them and you can start shopping right away. But if you want to hang out with me, let me take you through deal number one. Deal number one is 8.5 by 11 stencils from TCW, our friends at the Crafters Workshop, not to be confused with the Paper Crafters Workshop. But these are all really great stencils. It's almost like getting those layered stencils where you get 2 or 3 or 4 stencils in the pack. But with these, they are all on one sheet. And the shiny packaging makes it a little bit difficult. But they are great for slimline. These are great for layouts. And there are some A2 ones as well. But just because these are slimline doesn't mean they can't work on a variety of projects. Which, as a hint, if you hang out for another 15 minutes, you'll see me put them into use. These are just a few of them. We have more. There are great word stencils as well. There are also alphabets. So I'm going to try and use the alphabet today. But also, if you are in my layout club for class tonight, I'm going to be using one of these to make a title for my layout. So if you want to snag a set before they're gone, this is the time to do it. And here is the deal. Actually, Darlene, I may have the banner wrong on this one, so double check. I think I may have only said...
No, you're right.
Did I get it right? All right. Flash sale Friday, 8.5 by 11 stencils, 35% off. We've got some fun Christmas ones coming from TCW, so you need to make some space. But these are deal number one. All right. Put that over there. Deal number two. Deal number two is from Graphic 45. We have these fantastic circle stacking boxes. You get two sizes. You get the large size and the small size tucked inside. I have used them as boxes. I have also decorated them individually and used them kind of like a shadow box. I meant to bring my samples, but I could not find them this morning. But these are really great little things, especially as Christmas is coming. You could make some really cute hostess gifts. Today, these stacking circle gift boxes are 40% off. And yes, this will be part of my demo. Deal number three. Deal number three is a rainbow and explosion of prettiness. Look at all of these colors. Great deals on our Prism Studios foil paper. If you've taken any of our classes with Deanna, you will know that she uses a lot of foil paper to kind of mat her papers and whatnot. And today we have all of our foils that we have in stock 25% off. This is from Prism Studios. There are 5 sheets in a pack. They are all 8.5 by 11. So there is the matte silver, which is called brushed silver, brushed gold. Then there's an orange this one's copper, ruby. So stock up for Christmas. We've got our wedding band, which is our shiny gold. We have chrome, which is the shiny silver. We've got amethyst. Of course, my favorite color is the emerald. We have rubelite, which is this pretty pink. We have aquamarine, that's actually my birthstone. And then we have the holographic, which makes some really fun technicolor kind of things. Again, 25% off. They are already a fantastic price point. So 25% off is a steal. Okay, I'm going to breathe. We've got two more deals, but I've only used up 6 minutes of my time. And you know, I could cheat. I could cheat and take more time for my project, but let's just take a sip, take a breath, and we will continue. Are there any questions so far, Darlene?
No, everyone is saying hi. Julia's on as well.
Julia's on. My friend Julia from the Paper and Ink Boutique is actually in Ontario this week, but not close enough that we can visit. So we'll have to arrange, finding somewhere sometime in the future where we can get together. All right, we talked about foil paper from Prism Studio. We have something else from Prism Studio as well on sale this week. Blending brushes. If you need to refresh your blending brushes, if you have never used blending brushes before, I'm going to show you how to do that. If you just want to build your stash, this is the time to do it. So these are individual bristled, white bristled with the white handle, so that way you could put a label or something on it to indicate what color this is for. My recommendation is that you have one brush per color family, so maybe one for your blues, one for your purples, one for your yellows. And if you have something, I know Darlene over here has every shade of purple under the sun. She might have one for her light purples and one for her dark purples, just to kind of keep those colors sorted out and not blending into each other, but you do not need one for every single ink pad. Unless you really want to make your life easier, that would certainly make it easier, but then find a totally Tiffany bag to store them in. So there is the larger size and there is also the smaller detail size. And I'll be using both today and show you why you would choose one over the other one. Almost forgot the deal. Today we are 25% off both the small and regular blending brushes from Prism Studios. Uh, we often get the question, do you wash these? I don't. I don't wash my brushes unless they're really, really not coming clean when I scribble them off on a paper. If you decide you do want to wash them, just use a little bit of gentle dish soap or baby shampoo and make sure you store them or let them dry bristles down so that the glue does not degrade and you start losing bristles. But you know what? These are really great tools and always great to have in your stash. For all your ink blending, 25% off. And last, but certainly not least, how many people out there like 3D foam? Do you like to pop things up? Do you like to create dimension? Are you taking Deanna's class and know that you're going to need a whole pack of 3D foam? Well, here at the Paper Crafters Workshop, we have 3D foam from Scrapbook Adhesives. We have foam rolls. And let me just point out the difference between the two foam rolls. If you are buying the 54-foot roll, you are getting the thicker foam tape. It is 0.08. I think that works out to 2 millimeters tall. So the small, well, what looks like the smaller roll is the bigger tape, and that's the best way to remember it. The bigger roll, 108 feet, and actually if you looked at them side by side, they're actually the same size, but the bigger roll or more feet has thinner tape. Thin tape is great. It's great if you want just a little bit of extra height, but you can also double it up if you want the extra. We also have this in black. These are just white here, and both white and black are on sale. We also have foam squares, thin foam squares. So these are the little squares, little teeny ones. These are the big ones. And then we have a multi-pack. So this one comes with the one sheet of the large squares and one sheet of the small squares. And then once again, just be careful. The thin ones are half the height. We have micro squares. And Deanna was talking about this yesterday, that with her laser cuts with 49 on Market, sometimes you just need something really, really small to stick into those really tiny places. Those micro squares are fantastic for that. Darlene's favorite, my favorite, Jen Shirkus's favorite is the adhesive strips. These are great behind sentiments and anything, or shaker cards, that kind of thing. Anything where you want something narrow but long. The 3D strips are great. We have foam circles, just the same as the squares, just in circle shape. Sometimes, especially if you're doing the dancing dudes from Spellbinders, the circle is so much better because it'll let them move more. Also in black, we have wider strips if you want to cover a bit more area. And then we also have smaller rolls of the foam tape. If you don't want that big daddy one, then the smaller ones, these are the wider thickness or the taller thickness in that small roll. Last but not least, we have circle frames. If you like making shaker cards, these circle frames are a game changer. You get a frame in all of these concentric circles from small to large so that you can create different areas, or you could create a frame with transfer foam as well. Okay, Sheri, what's the deal? What's the deal? My time is ticking. This is our last deal of the day. 3D adhesive foam from Scrapbook Adhesives. 25% off. Now, I just jumped right in this morning and I forgot to say these deals are available while supplies last, in store and online, today, Friday, July 21st, and tomorrow, Saturday, July 22nd. And it is time to shop. Now, I have bought myself, looks like 2 minutes. I'm going to clear the desk here. And what I'm going to do today is I am going to use those beautiful stencils to decorate one of the Graphic 45 boxes. Let me keep my little signs close by so that I can do a recap at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So like I said, with the Graphic 45 boxes, when you get them in your set, you can crack them open. There are 2 sizes. They've got the nice little liner for your lid, if I can get it on. And it does have a sticker on the outside, but they peel off really easily. And if you're just covering it with paper, then maybe even leave the label on if it gets too tricky for you to peel off. Nope, don't grab the real ones, grab my sample ones. So I am going to use today this slimline triple flower stencil from TCW. There is a coordinating stencil, and I've tucked it away. The slimline layered triple daisies. They look very similar. Oh, and the glare is awful. Let me just pull them out of the package. I know I'm ticking time, but we've got time. We've got time. Let me pull that out. These actually work kind of together as one stencil is the negative space for the other one. And maybe it's just easier if I pull the stencil out itself. So that is one stencil. This is the other stencil. So you can see how they work really well together if you have 2 sets that you want to get, or if you just get one, then no problem at all. I'm going to use that first one, the triple flower stencil, and I'm just going to start with some ink blending. I've got my Hero Arts reactive inks. I've got a little bit of Concord and Night, and of course I have my Prism Studio blending brushes here to color with. Get my pink one out and get my desk mat. And you know what, because I like an extra challenge, let's do 2 at once. So I am going to start by, do I have craft tape? I think in my little toolbox I have some craft tape here. Sounds like we've got some friends downstairs joining us. All right, so I've got my craft tape. Maybe I'm just going to focus on this one here. But I'm going to tape it down. Am I on camera, Darlene? Everything looking good? Fantastic. So actually, let's do the top one first. So I'm going to create a solid background here on my box. We'll come back to that one. And I'm going to use my lighter color because I'm going to go over with a darker color. And I've just got my ink and my blending brush. I'm going to give it a little scrub to get some color in here. And just gently, I'm going to start on the plastic, on the acetate, I guess, whatever material it's made of. Mylar, I think, is the word I'm looking for. I need more coffee. And I am just rubbing it here into the open spaces. That's how easy this is. And if I lift up, it's the yellow is very faint. I don't know if you can see it here. You can see the color coming through ever so slightly. Is it showing up for you, Darlene?
Yeah, like a little shadow.
Yep, exactly. A nice little shadow here just to create a nice background. And that's why I like using maybe an oxide or the reactive inks, because they do work really nicely on more of that darker surface, that darker paper, and apparently on your thumb. All right, so I've got the yellow down. I'm just going to grab a cloth. Thought I saw a roll of paper towel.
Right here.
Oh, thank you. See, what would I do without Darlene? Darlene takes good care of me. And so I'm just wiping off the ink, and I'm actually pushing it back into the space, because why waste the ink? Let's get it into that space so that I can take it off. Ooh, that's pretty. It's coming together. Now I'm going to move the stencil up. Now, if you are doing this on a card, there is an etched line to help you line up the corners of your paper and keep everything straight. But I'm just going to eyeball, since I'm not on a square card, and this might be the hardest part of this project. I think that's okay. I'm going to do that. That's kind of the middle. I don't care if it sticks, but just not sticking to my finger. Maybe I'll do it and just do a little tiny dot here. Just so much that I can see. I would say use a pencil if you're doing it for real. And now I'm going to line up the centers here. There we go. That worked a little bit better. All right, put my tape in place. And this time I'm going to use the blue raspberry. This should show up a lot more. My eyes are playing tricks. I'm really hoping that this is lined up, but there we go. So I'm just filling in the holes, creating that pattern. A little bit more ink over here. And you know what? If it's not lined up, you just say that it's on purpose. It's an abstract, free form kind of look. All right, I'm going to put the ink back in. Try and clean that off a little bit. Hope everyone's still with me. Ta-da! So yeah, it is a little bit off center, but you know, we just go with it. So if I had wanted to, I could grab that other stencil and add some more details. But I think what I'm going to do is now I'm going to get a little fancy. I am going to grab no, maybe I won't. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab one of these words. I'm going to grab hello, love, and put it right here in the center. I need a little bit more tape because I'm going to grab some Stardust butter. I'm going to give this a little bit of sparkle and shine. Now, the Stardust butter is not on sale, but it is definitely something that you want to have stocked up for Christmas. It adds a little bit of glitter and sparkle and shine. And I'm just going to take a very little bit, run it through the stencil here. So these stencils are good for ink or paste. There we go. Scooch it back in. And voila. That'll have to get cleaned, but take a look at that. And I mean, if before I had done the paste, what I could have done is I could have gone in and added some more of these little daisies and covered up the whole lid of the box. But I didn't think of that until after I got the paste on. So we're just going to leave that one. We will move over here to the smaller one. And you know what? Let's do a different color this time. Let's do the pink. I'm going to put the daisies up here, and I'm just going to do the one style, just enough so that holds there, but I'm going to repeat it across my box. If you are really fancy and really patient, you could also wrap it around the sides. How am I for time? Oh, I have tons of time. Tons of time. I'm not that adventurous to do the sides with the stencil here on camera, but I challenge you. I challenge you that it's possible. So here I'm just bringing in the yellow, or sorry, not the yellow, the pink. Linus, I need some coffee. All right, so there's one layer. And then I can bring it down here and just shift it. I need my tape. And let's kind of offset them. And away we go. Now, if you have pixie spray, this will help hold it in place. And you know what? If you are really struggling with the fact that these are larger, then by all means, get your trimmer out and cut them apart. There is enough space in between the two openings. I'll show you in just a second now that I'm all inky. There we go. So there is your lid, and you could just keep going and adding. I might put a couple more over here just to kind of fill in that. You know what? Let's do it here while we're talking. See if I can just fill in those little holes here. I need 3 hands. There we go. So there, I've filled in and covered this whole area. Now, I also promised you that I would show you what you can do with the smaller brushes. So the smaller brushes are more for detail. I've hidden my little bag with smaller brushes, but I like using the detail for the words. So or I think this one I'm going to put a monogram if I can find my alphabet. So if I was making this for someone, I could take the alphabet. Let's find the letter S for Sheri. There it is. Can I even get clever enough to write my whole name? I don't think I'm going to try that on camera, but maybe I will do SB. So this time I'm using the Concord and Ninth ink, and I'm just going in with my small. Wow, that looks almost black, doesn't it? But it's that beautiful, beautiful navy blue. This is called Midnight. And just going to ever so gently voila. And now I need a B. I was very fortunate that when I met and married Matt, my maiden name was a B. My married name is a B, so I didn't have to change my initials. Did not lose my place on the alphabetical list for attendance, and can keep all the monogram stuff, because with the name Sheri, there's not a lot of name stuff out there for my name and my spelling. So I like to keep my monogram stuff as much as I can. So look, nice and simple. And look at how beautiful that all stands out um, on the paper. Now, the other thing you could do, and I had planned to do this to show you the foam dots, but I think you guys all know what foam squares and foam dots do. You could have put that on a piece of paper and then popped it up. I am going to do one more finishing touch since I do still have 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I'm going to take some of that Prism Studios foil that I pulled aside. Let's pull. So this is the pink one, pink tourmaline, and I'm going to cut some strips. Now I don't have a ruler with me, but I'm going to guess that if I do 1/2-inch strips on here, I should be good. And I'll probably need more than one. So let's just get them all cut here. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch here. 1/2 inch here. Let's just do one side first, and if I need to cut more, I can come back. This is where I'm going to grab my score tape from last week. Here in my little bag of tricks. And I'm going to put score tape on the back side. Just a nice long strip. For the purposes of today, I'm only going to do one strip of tape. With your thin tape, you probably would want to do 2 so that both sides stay down. And then pick a spot and just start. And I'm just moving it around, trying to keep an even spacing, top and bottom. Now, I didn't make it all the way, so this is where these guys are going to come into play. And what I tend to do, because it's always very difficult to line things up, I'm going to make it look on purpose. So I'm going to start by dovetailing one end so that when it overlaps, it's got a pretty pattern. And if I wrap it around, then I want to go to about here. So again, overlapping. I'm going to snip it off and do my dovetail. And then let's one strip of tape. Make sure it's all stuck down. Uh-oh, 1.5 minutes. I can do it. I got this. Oh, come on. There we go. So there, I've decorated the side. Now with these boxes, also don't forget that there is the inside. So you can always decorate the inside as well. My best tip is either find a plate or a cup or something that is just slightly smaller. The inside, oh, did I smudge that paste? I think I'm okay. The inside is even smaller than the outside because it's got this added layer. So just make sure that you go in deep enough. If you're decorating the big box, just use the small box to trace. Decorating the small box is a little bit more challenging, but I'm sure you can find something in your stash that you can trace. So there you go, guys. 2 boxes, stencils, blending brushes, foil. The only thing I did not use was 3D foam, but I think you guys have that handled. So let's, in our last 20 seconds, 15 seconds, do a recap of today's deals. And then I will let you go for the weekend. So we have Prism Studios blending brushes, small and regular, 25% off. Prism Studio mirror cardstock, 25% off. TCW 8.5 by 11 stencils, 35% off. Scrapbook adhesives, 3D foam, black or white, tape, squares, circles, and more, 25% off. And of course, last but not least, our Graphic 45 stacking circle boxes, 40% off. Really great summer projects, lots of ideas, and I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Take care, everyone.